Τι να πω. Καλησπέρα σας. Σε ένα λεπτό ξεκινάει η εκδήλωση από το Ίδρυμα Τεχνολογίας και Έρευνας με ομιλητή τον κύριο Ευάγγελο Κορομπίλη Μάγκα. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Hello everyone, and thanks for coming to my presentation. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Evangelos, and I recently joined Praxi Network. So, Praxi Network is the technology transfer office of FORTH. And FORTH is among the, or probably, as we speak, the biggest research institute in Greece. So apart from helping SMEs, mainly SMEs, other companies as well, but mainly SMEs, to find new markets, providing them with consultation and other services like that. We are also the official coordinators of EN coordinators in Greece, and we also have the NCPs, so national contact points for the European Union. So one of the main things we do is to bring together researchers with companies and also universities as well, and promote innovation. Now, mapping down all the researchers in Greece is one challenge. I don't have much experience, as I said, because I recently joined Praxi, but from what I'm learning, there are quite a few, and there are lots of, interesting research ideas and projects going on. But one thing is to find them, to identify them. The next thing is to turn these ideas into innovative products, and ultimately to bring it to the market. And that's easier said than done. I've met quite a few researchers who are brilliant in coming up with innovative ideas which could turn into products and services with additional value for consumers, but taking it to the market is a completely different ballgame, and it's easier said than done. So we help them to, we bridge this gap, and we help them to achieve that. Now, the topic today, which is about market research, innovation, business development, and the strategies for the 21st century that derive as a result. All these are topics that one could, each one of these topics individually could take us hours to discuss about. So what I'm going to do is, in a nutshell, I'm going to explain how this process works and the links between these topics. As I said, you can't do that in 20 or 25 minutes, but I'll try my best. So what I want to highlight here is, the key role of knowledge, because that's what it's all about. Competitive advantage relies on unique knowledge, or it's better to say, knowledge is the only competitive advantage. So, for example, when I ask students, I forgot to say that up until recently I was an academic in Aberdeen, the University of Aberdeen. So when I would ask students or other audiences to define, in their own words, competitive advantage, everybody would say that it's doing something different, which is true, and intuitively this is what competitive advantage is all about. But there is another facet of it, there is another way that we can see. It's about doing the same thing in a different way. So, for example, if you take Microsoft, when they came up with Windows, that was a product that had high value, high-tech product, and it was likely to satisfy the needs and wants of many of us. Unique knowledge, unique technological know-how. So that enabled Microsoft to come up with such an innovative product. So this facet of competitive advantage of doing something completely different than the others. But it boils down to some unique technological know-how. So it's all about knowledge, isn't it? But also doing the same thing in a different way. Off the top of my head, I can think of companies like, for example, Diesel, the jeans and the fashion brand. I'm sure you know it. So Diesel in the 90s became very, very popular because of a unique communication strategy, because they had the right people in the right place. So they had brand managers and marketing managers who were very innovative, very creative. That's also a facet of knowledge. So if you think about it, the only competitive advantage is knowledge and nothing else. So knowledge and information, two terms that are used sometimes, as if they had almost the same meaning, so changeably, but it's not the same. So knowledge builds on information that is extracted from data. So data is the smallest thing that we can detect with our senses. Unless data is filtered and organized in a meaningful manner, it cannot be termed information. So information then is the building blocks. Information is a building block of knowledge. What is market research now? All this just to introduce one of the main topics I will focus today, which is market research. There are numerous definitions out there. I didn't opt for an academic definition because they are too long and too complex, but from a practitioner's point of view, as depicted in the Chartered History of Marketing definition, gathering and analysis of data for, among other things, for better informed decision making. And that's what it's all about. It's about information, it's about market research that can provide you with high quality information, timely information that can be used and help companies make better informed decisions. So formal, systematic and objective. However, it's expensive as well, and it's not easy, especially for SMEs, to conduct market research in-house. So they have to outsource that, but the cost is very high and is prohibiting for most of these companies. So only large companies, the big boys, conduct regularly market research, and some of them do it in-house as well. Now, in the heart of every company, regardless if we're talking about companies in the private sector or in the public sector, small companies, bigger companies, it doesn't matter. Even if they don't deliberately realize that at the heart of everything is this. It's information behavior, not just expert information behavior, but information behavior. It's how companies acquire information, which is a first stage, a step-by-step process. So companies need to get their hands into reliable, up-to-date, high-quality information. This will then be disseminated to the different departments. So all the decision makers across different departments of the company need to have this information at the time, in a timely manner. So when they need them, when they need it to make a decision. But little will be achieved unless this information is put into good use. So information use is the final stage of this process. As I said, this is in every organization. And of course, the bigger companies, they take particular care of their information system or the market information system. There are some forces that also, external forces that of course shape this process. The environment, first and foremost, but also the individual decision maker as well. So the outcome of this, if this works well, will be good decisions, effective decision making. Now, if you make sound decisions, obviously your performance as an organization
will be better. The more the more information you process and the better decisions you make, the more you learn. Therefore, also organizational knowledge is enhanced. And going back to what I said earlier, knowledge is the only competitive advantage. So this process is important. Where is market research? Market research is there. It's at this stage. So it's one of the 3 information acquisition modes. So it is through market research that a company or an organization can collect information. There are other sources as well, namely government assistance. So for example, if you turn to the Chamber of Commerce because you want information, let's say you're a Greek company, you want to go to Germany or any other country, you can go to the embassy, you can go to the Chamber of Commerce and ask for information regarding this market. It is cheap, it is readily available, but it's not, it's not in too much detail, and it's not up to date sometimes, so it's not ideal. And especially if you need good high-quality information. And there is market intelligence also, which is, for example, information that we collect from customers, first-hand information that we collect from our interaction with distributors, with providers. Also, if I need to, for example, let's say I want to go to Germany and I have a friend in Germany. We used to study together at the university. We have maintained our friendship since then. So I pick up the phone and I call them and I say, my company is interested to move to Germany. Tell me about, the market, or tell me about a specific area, specific market in Germany. So that's market intelligence. Just a recent graph, I think it was from last year, with the top exporters worldwide. So Germany, I think, is the biggest exporter as we speak. They have surpassed the US. The US, UK, New Zealand is also a big exporter, and Austria as well. So we can see that most of them, or not most of them, all of them rely on market intelligence. That's because it can provide you with, as I said, first-hand information, which is cheap, or sometimes it's free as well. It's important to have a very good network, and this network can feed you with good quality information. But market research is not among the top preferences, exactly because, as I said, it's hard to do and it is expensive. The bigger companies, though, conduct market research regularly. It's not something that SMEs can do because they cannot do it in-house. So, and it's not affordable to them. So, if we look at the global environment, uncertainty, that's typical, especially nowadays, and turbulence, lots of random events happening, warfare, for example, between, in Ukraine, which changed things and saved our lives in many ways. COVID-19, some years ago, which shaped, again, our lives and the economy. So these are characteristics of the environment, complexity and conflict. Things keep changing all the time. So it is really important to be able to survive as an organization, and not only to survive, but and sustain yourself, but also to be successful, to be able to collect information by using these 3 acquisition modes that I presented you with earlier in an optimal manner. And then use information. These are different types of information used. I'm not going to spend more time on that. But it's all about information use. And if you do this right, your performance will be higher than competitors. Which is, it's a fact. It's something that it's a given that is going to happen. So it's all about processing and using information. And this is where market research comes into play. Now, if we want to provide a short definition on innovation, is a process of translating ideas into goods or services that have additional value for the customers. So they have to satisfy a need or needs and wants of people in a unique manner, and definitely better than competitors. And if it's affordable as well, or cheaper, even better. Types of innovation is not just about product innovation, so new products or services with improved features. It's process innovation as well, so production and delivery methods that not only reduce the cost, but can provide, can increase effectiveness as well. And business model is innovation, so new ways to create and deliver value. So for example, think IKEA. In terms of their products, I don't know what your opinion is, but okay, their products are okay, but it's not something exceptionally good, is it? But this process of involving the customers in the purchasing of the products, and the way it works, the layout of the stores and all that, that's unique. So that's again an innovative idea, innovative process. So it's not just about the products or the services. Now, if you are an innovator, you will grow. You will differentiate yourselves from competitors because you will be able to satisfy the constantly evolving needs and wants of consumers by providing them with new, updated products. So by default, it is also a prerequisite, let's say, for competitive advantage. It is a source of differentiation. Now, in business development, the long-term scope or goal is to create value for an organization through your customers, your markets, and of course, through relationships. And it's all nowadays about relationship marketing, isn't it? You achieve that through, revenue growth, increasing sales and profit margins, but it's not, because many people think that business development is about bringing more sales to the company and increasing sales and all that, and revenue. It's not just about that. Expanding to new markets, strategic partnerships, especially, nowadays, the most common way to go international, even for smaller firms, is through strategic alliances and partnerships. In some countries, it is a prerequisite. So, for example, I don't know if this law is still, or this rule is still in place, but in China, some years ago, you could not go and do business there unless you'd forge a partnership with a local Chinese company. So definitely what was not allowed, you could export to them, or from China, but you could not establish a subsidiary in China and own resources on Chinese soil. And of course, the logic behind that is very simple. The Chinese government wanted to encourage Western companies to come to China because they wanted to benefit from the knowledge diffusion. They wanted to learn from the experience and knowledge of the Western companies, but they didn't want to allow them to put their hands on Chinese resources. So strategic alliance was the only option. And of course, given the size of the Chinese market, the companies would, of course, the Western companies would, of course, be glad to follow the Chinese government's rules. Now, business development process, we can see again, it's all about research and analysis. So market research comes into play again in any form. Yeah. So at this stage, we need to understand the market. Competitors, of course, it's all about competitors. It's highly unlikely that you'll be in a market with no competitors. And as a matter of fact, nowadays, competition is particularly fierce as well. So we need to think about what our competitors are up to at all times. We need to monitor market trends. We need to monitor competitors' moves, all the time. And that's, again, through research and analysis. So here, we use, in this type of analysis, standard models that I'm sure you all have heard, like, you start with pest or pestle analysis, SWOT analysis, and then competitors analysis through the implementation of Porter's 5 forces or things like that. Then the information that you would have collected from this stage, you feed it into strategy formulations, which is the next step and is, of course, extremely important. Having clear goals, having, timelines and KPIs to measure how your strategy is unfolding, and also execution, the implementation, and of course, constant monitoring and evaluation. So in a nutshell, these are the 4 steps, but you can see that, again, it starts from research. Without that, you can't move, or it's like the foundation. So without solid foundations, the building is not going to be safe, is not going to be strong. So again, business development has a long-term I think this slide was, the definition was repeated earlier. Right, so the key strategies within business development is you can have market penetration, which is when you want to increase your market share in an existing market. So you have a mature market, you have your product, which already has awareness, already has a customer base. You want to increase market share. The job of marketers, or the marketing department in this case, is to come up with unique offers and promotions, or come up with a clever advertising campaign, new advertising campaign, just to attract more demand to their product. Market development, which is expanding into new markets. Then again, the job of the marketing department or the business department is to gather and analyze information about potential foreign destinations, because especially if we're talking about SMEs, it's highly unlikely that an SME can develop many foreign markets simultaneously. They may only have the resources to develop 1 or 2 markets only. And they may only have one chance to achieve that. So if they fail, they may never be able to try that again. Or such a failure in international expansion, an attempt to for international expansion, may of course backfire and have negative consequences for the domestic market as well. Product development, introducing new products to existing markets. This is innovation that I was talking about, is product innovation. You come up with something completely new in an existing market, because you see that there is an opportunity there, there is potential demand. And of course, the ultimate innovation, which is when you enter new markets with completely new products. So I'm just trying to, off the top of my head, to think of. So, for instance, because as we all know, you are not allowed to sell alcohol in Saudi Arabia, for example, because of religion not allowing that. Beer companies, or some beer company, which I can't remember the name, developed alcohol-free beer specifically tailored to the needs and wants of Saudi Arabia, and of course, respecting the culture and the religion at the same time. So if you wanted to see how all these that I've just presented, I talked about to see how they can be depicted. You can see interlocked circles. Just remember that it starts from here, insight generation. And that's, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but it is very important. It's all about research. It's all about having information. It's all about making the right decision. So insight generation, which will lead then to innovation. This can translate into something innovative, into new products and new processes, as I was saying earlier. Product development or process development. Of course, you need to make sure that a good idea is translated into a product that can, or a service that can also have commercial success. And that is one of the most difficult parts. And this is where research-minded people struggle very much. I'll give you an example from when I used to work before Praxi, before the university. I was helping Greek companies to expand into new markets as an export consultant. And I was working with them. So I had a company, I'm not going to reveal the names, but it was a company producing high-quality aluminum products, so doors, windows, and all that, very high quality, but they were also very innovative as well. It wasn't a big company, but they were very good at what they're doing. And imagine that they developed a unique, a very high quality and of unique technology lock for sliding doors, which is used in the big tower hotel in Dubai, Burj Khalifa, I think it's called, I don't know if I pronounce it right. So it is there. Now, the problem with this company was that although they were excellent manufacturers, they were very good with innovation, they had no knowledge of marketing, no business acumen as well in that respect, or knowledge of how to promote their product. So what happened was that an American company took their product, their brand, they sold it to Dubai and to other places, of course, under their own brand name. So the Greek company, who were actually the owners of the product, it was their baby, actually, but they only got a tiny percentage of the sales because they didn't know how to achieve that. Very difficult for SMEs. It's very, very difficult, and they struggle very, very much. And then the decision to expand to new markets and develop the right strategy to do that. And ultimately, this should lead to growth and sustainable growth. So once you achieve that, you need to make sure that you keep afloat of things and you keep on top of everything. Because, as I was saying, competition is very, very, very fierce. Now, strategies for the 21st century. Again, this is something that we could be talking hours and hours about that. I'm not going to delve into detail on that. Just to very sort of, briefly name what these strategies are. Your strategy needs to emphasize on agility. You need to be able to quickly adapt to changes. Things are moving extremely fast. And as I said, many, many competitors as well. The term we use in business for that is high competitive intensity. So given that, you need to have a structure as a company and a culture as well that can make you quick to adapt. Focus on the customer. We keep saying that. We teach students at universities, and everybody keeps saying that, yeah, customer is at the center of the universe for everything. But most companies, most organizations just want to make as much money and squeeze as many sales as possible from each one of us. And we've all been in this situation, and we don't like it. But it is true. Companies that are successful, they are genuinely and truly focusing on the customer. Leverage technology. So I was talking about research, and I was talking about informed decision-making and all that. The tools that we have at our disposal with the AI, for example, artificial intelligence and digital tools are unprecedented. And this is something that I mean, even companies that use that and take advantage of that, they probably take advantage only of a tiny percentage because, you know, the possibilities are endless here. And of course, sustainability as well, because not only because people care about that, customers care about that, but because it's also a necessity, and it's, in my opinion, is the intelligent thing to do. So, challenges are constantly changing technological environment, competition. I know I've repeated that several times, but it is, for me, if you think about it, it's the main reason why we bother to develop strategies. We spend time and money to develop a strategy. Why? Because we have competitors and we want to develop a strategy that will help us outperform competition. And of course, constantly evolving needs and changing consumer behavior, which again needs to be accurately monitored at all times. We need to know exactly what the trends are. And to do that, it's also, as I kept saying today, research is all about continuous learning and development, is about investing in research and development, and is also not just translating this into innovation, but also building a culture of innovation, because that's something that stays with you as an organization. But again, this is easier said than done, and culture to change takes many, many years. It's very hard. You need to invest now and reap the benefits after many years, if it is successful, of course. So, conclusions, as you know, the key conclusions from what I was talking about. Market research, innovation, business development, and the associated strategies, of course, are crucial. There's no doubt about that. You can't go very far away without this. And it all starts from that. But it doesn't mean that if you are very good in your research there, for example, or if you are a very good innovator, that you will succeed. No. You need everything to work like a clock. So it is the interplay of all these things that can actually have a positive effect on performance. And the integration of all these elements above can indeed lead to competitive advantage, but you need as a company, and that's for bigger companies, smaller companies, it doesn't matter. You need to follow what we call in business a contingency approach, or contingency theory approach, which simply posits that there is no one best way to organize and do things. You need to be flexible. You need to adjust. You need to study the environment and be able to take actions, brave actions sometimes, and leave your comfort zone as well, you know, to be able to adapt and to be able to succeed. It is a key prerequisite. So the companies with, like, you know, more conservative companies, risk-averse, with heavy mechanistic structures and all that, the way things go and the way business and the business environment is shaped, they won't be able to go very far away. So, as a final thought, businesses that innovate and adapt to market demands will be successful. That's the rule. They will definitely be successful. Thank you very much. Sorry, the sound was a bit annoying, eh? Yeah, no.